Hey everybody, it's Derek Christensen from Legion Law. Hope you're doing well today. Today I wanted to come to you today about how much does an estate plan cost? This is probably the most question I get all the time. So it's understandable. You're working with an attorney, and I think most people are concerned about paying too much to not understand the thing that just happened. So that being said, before I dive into that, I wanted to let you guys know how to reach out to me. You can find me on my website, legionlawpllc.com, or you can reach out to me directly at email, Derek at legionlawpllc.com. So that being said, let's dive right in. How much does it cost? You know, it's a valid question. You're paying for legal services, and many people are concerned, again, like I said, about paying too much to not understand what's going on. So the answer is always that it depends. I like to tell clients that in the legal field, at least in estate planning, there's good, better, and best. And really, whatever you're looking for can usually fit in one of those categories. So a good option is different than the best option, and the prices are going to vary wildly. So normally, and again, as an estate plan, you're drafting documents, you're making sure they all intertwine and they all say the right things. So some plans are very, very basic and they only have 1 or 2 documents. Other plans have 10 plus documents. It's hard to say per se. However, there are some general themes and points to make out whenever it comes to the cost of estate plans. So the first is that almost always you'll want to work with an attorney who does a flat fee. You don't want to be charged by the hour to, ask a question and you get billed. If you have a concern and you talk for an hour, I would argue that the attorney should be including all that into one big price, and that's it. You only pay once, you're good to go. That being said, some attorneys don't. I personally do a one-time payment, and that's, I think, a better way to approach it. Additionally, when I go back to the good, better, best, an attorney should be able to say, if you only need 1 document, it's going to cost X number, 2 documents, whatever. So it really is it just depends on what you need. So some people look for just a will, some people look for the whole enchilada, if you will. And that's, again, going to affect the price. So going back to the good, better, best theme for at least myself, I would argue a good estate plan is to have a will. A will makes probate a little bit easier. It makes it a little bit less expensive. And at the end of the day, I would argue is better than nothing. So a will sometimes run around $200 to $600. It depends on the attorney. And it also depends on what kind of other services they provide. Some attorneys will just draft and then send it to you and you can take care of it. Others will provide signing services, notary, all that good stuff. So $200 to $600 is usually what you're looking for a will with an attorney. A better, good, better, best. If you go better, I personally believe the better option is to have a will binder, is what I call it, where you have a binder full of documents, including a will plus power of attorney, medical power of attorney, advanced healthcare directive, HIPAA release forms, guardianship designations, all that good stuff. So all those documents combined, that can run from, I don't know, maybe 1,000 to 2,000 or 3,000 sometimes. I'm looking more in the ballpark about $1,500 in that circumstance, but that's kind of the pricing that you should look for the better option out of good, better, best. And then if you're heading to the best option, and again, when I say best, I mean best for most people. Other people are going to need extremely different circumstances and way different options. But the best option for most American families is going to be a revocable living trust binder, if you will. So again, that's drafting the trust and a pour-over will with all those other documents I just mentioned, the power of attorney, advanced healthcare directive, blah, blah, blah. So that is going to cost substantially more because drafting a trust requires you to also draft deeds to transfer property in. It requires working with a client to transfer assets and titles and beneficiary designation. So the best option is also the one with the most work, but it is also going to provide you with the most protection. A well-funded trust is going to avoid probate twice if you have a spouse or a couple taking care of the situation. So You know, if me and my wife, if we have a revocable living trust together and I pass away, then she passes away, we avoid probate twice, which already saves you 3 times the cost of the trust. So that being said, the trust binder usually is around, I don't know, it can be from $2,500 to $5,000. I've seen it go up to $9,000 sometimes if the attorney is getting really frisky. But I would say arguably around the $3,000 range is where you're looking at. So that's just kind of what you're looking at when it comes to estate planning. I tell people this all the time. Either you pay a little bit now or a moderate amount now and you have some say in what happens, or you're going to have to pay a lot more and you won't have a say as to what happens in the future, because everybody's going to pass away, unfortunately, and you're going to have to run into an estate planning attorney sometime, you know, either now or way in the future, you know. But almost always a proactive approach, having an estate plan in place, is going to protect you and actually be more cost effective than having absolutely nothing in place. So all that being said, those are the prices you're looking at. Around $500 for a will, $1,500 for a binder with a will plus all those other documents, and then about $3,000